Jealousy has such a negative connotation, but all of us experience jealousy. In this expansion exercise, I'm going to show you how I am transmuting jealousy in my life. I'm going to give you some concrete examples, and I hope you will take the ride along with me. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a short and easy expansion exercise you can do yourself to start working on transmuting the energy of jealousy into possibility as well. Hi and welcome to this expansion space. My name is Trini. I am a self-knowledge guide and human design specialist. And in this video, we are going to work with the energy of jealousy. So first of all, what is jealousy and why do we all want to get rid of it in our lives? The truth is that in this new earth that we are creating, in this new paradigm world we are creating all together, there is really not a lot of space for jealousy. Jealousy is something that we must learn to work on and work on transmuting. Why? Because jealousy is rooted in a lack mindset. So let's think about it. When do we feel jealousy and what is jealousy, right? So if I think of jealousy, I think of seeing someone that has something that I want and me feeling upset about it. So a really easy kind of example would be a good friend of yours gets a huge raise and they invite you to their new place and you walk into their new house and it's such a big, beautiful mansion. And instead of feeling happy for that person who you love, right, you kind of feel shitty and crappy about yourself. The fact that somebody else has something that you want reminds you of something that you don't have. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of how I am living jealousy right now in my life and how I am transmuting it, so stay tuned. But first I want to explore why jealousy is something that there is no room for in this new world we are creating. So jealousy is rooted in a lack mindset. The feeling and the energy around jealousy is rooted in the premise and the belief that there is not enough to go around. It is rooted in a belief in the universe where if that person over there has something that I want, that means there are less possibilities for me to have that thing as well. This is the same thing to say as if my best friend suddenly gets a big raise or something happens to her and she becomes uber successful, then that would mean that now I have less chances of becoming successful myself. Now, is this a correct depiction of the universe we live in? No, it is not a correct depiction, and thank God, right? The universe we live in is an abundant sea of abundance. When you see something that you would like to have, you should be delighted that you're seeing it in your reality, because all that means is that that thing is possible for you as well. But it's not your fault that you've been feeling jealousy all your life and that you're still feeling it even after all this self-work, right? It's not my fault either. It happens because we all grow up conditioned to believe in these beliefs that have been conditioned and conditioned and conditioned generations after generations after generations. So if your parents had this view of the universe, it's because your grandparents probably gave it to them, and that's how it works all the way back. But you, my dear, are the one who breaks the chain. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to turn jealousy around for you. I want to paint a picture for you of how you can actually take jealousy, the energy of jealousy, every time you encounter it in your life. Of course, you're going to have to become more aware. That's a very big important process of transitioning into this new earth. So become more aware of it, and whenever you catch it, use all of these things that I'm going to tell you right now about jealousy to transmute the energy into the energy of possibility and abundance. And here's something that's really important. What we're transitioning into, the new earth, is not about getting rid of the old. It's not about light versus darkness and going to the light and ignoring your darkness. It's actually the opposite of that. It's about integration. It's about realizing that we are whole, that we are one. And what that means, which is good news, is that we don't have to ignore jealousy or wish that we never feel jealousy. The only thing we have to do is notice when it comes up. And we're gonna notice it because it doesn't feel good in our bodies, and that's gonna be the sign for us that there's something we can do with that energy. Whenever there's an energy that doesn't feel good in your body, that is your soul telling you that there's something you can transmute. And so whenever you feel jealousy coming up, then that same energy that forms the jealousy in your body, you're gonna use it to transmute it into something higher. You're gonna use it to transmute it into possibility. So now, jealousy is no longer the enemy in this picture. We're not trying to get rid of jealousy. We're using these energies that are dense, that are low, that are conditioned, that are based on low vibrational beliefs, and we're using it to rise and to start experiencing in our magnetic field the beliefs that we want to experience in our lives. Not the beliefs that have just kind of been imprinted in us without any consciousness, but the beliefs that we want to start believing, the life that we want to be creating. So without further ado, I'm going to give you an example of how jealousy has been popping up in my life, so that when I give you the tips about transmuting jealousy, I can go relating it to something so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, so in my life, jealousy has been popping up because I have recently launched a business. I've recently, in the past year and a half or so, gotten in contact with the human design knowledge, which I am in love with, and I've gotten certified as a human design practitioner, and I have set up a business, and I've launched myself into the entrepreneurial world of human design online and on Instagram. And of course, because of, the way things work, there were people there before me. There were people that have been doing it for a lot of more years. And it happens to me sometimes that I am in the Instagram space where I'm growing my business and I'm posting things where I see practitioners that have been doing it for a really long time. They either have a lot more clients or are making a lot more money than me, and I catch myself in this comparison game. I catch myself in this feeling of jealousy that ultimately it's nothing bad about these practitioners. It's ultimately something bad about myself. It's ultimately a feeling of, why can't I have that, or I'm not good enough, or it's really this belief that because this person is attaining success in that way, that means that I'm not gonna get it. And it's so crazy because if you don't stop and think about it for like a second, you're actually like really believing this. You're saying, oh, like I'm not good enough. I'm not gonna get there because look, she got there. Where really there is no basis for these beliefs. It is not true that somebody else's success makes you less successful. In fact, it's the opposite. So here are the 3 ways I'm transmuting the energy of jealousy in my own life. Number 1, when jealousy pops up, use it as an opportunity to realize your limiting beliefs. So in my example of seeing somebody else with business success and that sparking up jealousy in my life, now every time I feel that surge of jealousy and that icky feeling, I go, oh, okay, what limiting belief is this trying to show me about me, and what belief am I now ready to let go of? So in the example I gave you, the limiting belief was that success of somebody else means that I can't be successful, or at least that the chances that I'll be successful. If you go to your friend's house and she has a really beautiful house and you start feeling jealous about it, maybe the belief that you are being shown is that you are not worthy of that same thing, or that you think that you're never going to have that you feel that having that for your own life is impossible. So this first step of realizing that limiting belief is super powerful, because it's just about the awareness of the belief, but that is literally the first step for everything. Awareness is the first step for everything. So just by being aware now that you have this limiting belief, you can kind of go through the rational debunking of this belief every time you feel it. And little by little, what that's going to do is it's going to, at one point, stop being your default belief to go to. Number 2, the second way that I transmute jealousy in my life is realizing that when I see something outside of myself that I want, that brings me an icky feeling, I can right away turn it around into the feeling of possibility. If I see something outside of myself that I want, but I don't yet have, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna have it. Instead, it means that it's a possibility. Because it's in front of me, because it's coming into my field, because it's something that I'm seeing right now, then that is proof that one, it is completely possible for me, and two, that it is closer than ever. Because it is closer than ever. If you're seeing it in a friend, if you're seeing it all the time, maybe, if it's triggering you all the time, then that means that it's showing up. And it's kind of, in my view, like a test of the universe, where the universe knows you want it, but it's testing you. Like, are your beliefs and is your self-worth ready energetically to obtain this in your life? Or are you going to respond to, whenever we show it to you, are you going to respond to it with lack? So for me, this is like a huge opportunity to pass this test. And don't get freaked out, or don't, make yourself wrong if you feel the surge of jealousy first. It's not about eliminating that from your life. Again, it's about feeling it, being conscious about it, and then consciously transmuting it and saying, all right, I don't choose to focus on this feeling right now. Instead, I'm going to focus on the fact that I'm seeing something that I want, and that the fact that I'm seeing it means that it's coming into my life. And number 3, so the third way that I transmute jealousy in my life currently into the energy of possibility, into a higher frequency energy, is by using it as a reflection tool. So a lot of the times I catch myself being jealous about certain things that when I really start thinking about it later, I decide that it's not really something that I want. So a really good example for me would be to go back to the mansion example, because sometimes if I go to somebody's house and they have like a huge luxurious house, or even a huge luxurious car, or a luxurious car period, I can feel a surge of jealousy of like, I don't have this and I want this. But when I really start thinking about it, those are definitely not things that I'm trying to attract into my life. In fact, if I had all the money in the world, I would probably buy a house by the beach, but I wouldn't buy like a huge mansion house. To me, that's like a lot of upkeeping, and I don't know, it's just not something that I want in my life. Not that it's wrong if you do want that in your life. That being said, when I see people on Instagram who have really discovered what their business is to them, who have really discovered a product that they love to deliver, and who are like really flowing with giving it out to clients and with making good money, that's something that I feel jealous about sometimes. And that if I really explore it, it's something that I really feel like it's coming for me, like it's a path for me, like it's really something that is gonna happen for me in the near future. So that being said, jealousy can be a really good way to reflect on where you want to put your attention to. Throughout our lives, we've been conditioned by all the people around us, by society, by advertising, about all the things that we should want, right? But it's very few times where we get in touch with what we really want. How many times do you actually ask yourself, like, what do I really want? And I know these last times of COVID have been hard, but actually that's one of the perks of the good things that have come out of this time, where people have been able to really ask themselves that, like, okay, if everything's gonna change, if this is gonna be the new normal, what do I really want to prioritize? What is it that is really important for me in this life? So when you feel jealous, the third thing you can do is, after transmuting that energy into knowing that whatever you're seeing is possible for you, really asking yourself if it's something that you want to put your energy into. Because I want you to know that you can create anything in your life, that anything is possible for you, but that you might not want all the things that you've thought you wanted in the past. The more you do this exercise, when you come in contact with things that you think you want, and there's some that you do and there's some that you actually kind of let go of, the more that you're creating space to be the most authentic you, the more that you're creating space to not be kind of chasing all of these shiny objects that really are not going to bring you what you want, which is obviously fulfillment and happiness and peace. So I hope these 3 ways that I am currently using to transmute the energy of jealousy in my life from just dense, low energy vibration into higher vibration of possibility and higher vibration of abundance can really help you do the same as well. And I want to end this video as always with a short exercise that you can do. So grab your journal and a pencil or a pen, or if you want to do it quickly, you can just do it in the comments below, or you can do both and make me really happy. And we're going to just reflect on a few questions related to jealousy so that you can start this process right now of transmuting these energies and helping yourself become your highest version. So step number one is think of one thing that you've been jealous of in the recent past. Write it down. Step two is then reminding yourself that just because that other person or that other situation had that thing and you don't right now does not mean that there are less possibilities for you to obtain it. In fact, it's the opposite. It means that it's coming into your field and that it's possible for you. So I want you to write the thing that you're jealous of, or whatever it is, the situation you're jealous of, and then followed by is 100% possible for me. Write this 3 times in your journal. Step number 3, I want you now to look at that thing and really close your eyes and imagine yourself when you've obtained that thing. I want you to reflect on, is this something that I want because I've been told that I want, or I've been thinking that I want it, but actually it doesn't feel like it's on my soul's path? Or is this something that definitely is coming to me in the near future, is something that I really want to be part of my life experience? So if you answered the first part, I want you to just close your eyes and say, I let you go and I make more space for other beautiful things to come into my reality. And if you answered the second one, I want you to close your eyes and know that that thing is coming to you, that the fact that you've seen it and you felt jealousy, it's just been a test for the universe. So prepare yourself now to respond to that test in a positive way by every time you see it now being happy for that person that has it, or for that situation being out there, and then also being happy because it's being shown to you in your reality, which only means that it's closer and closer and closer each time that you see it. So to kind of seal it off, I want you to close your eyes and imagine the way you're gonna feel when this thing or situation or person is already in your reality. Kind of stay there for a few moments, feel it, feel how you're gonna feel when you have this thing in your reality. And now you can open your eyes and you can know that just by doing this small exercise and by using the tips in this video, every time you feel that kind of spark of jealousy come up in your life, you're gonna not only be transmuting the feeling of jealousy into a higher vibration of possibility, which is something that's gonna keep you less stuck, which is gonna help you move into abundance, but you're also attracting this thing into your life. Thank you so much for sharing this expansion space with me, for working on yourself while I work on myself. I look forward to hearing your answers below. If you are curious about human design or interested in working with me and your human design, then visit the links below. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.